Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. This is season 6, episode number 3. Tonight's the sports edition. Andy, how are you?
Yeah, good. Got lots to do today.
Well, Thanksgiving holiday's coming up, and it's always lots to do around the sports season. The difference this week is that the Prep Bowl already happened, so there's no Prep Bowl this coming week on Thanksgiving, like typical. Today's the 25th of November. Next week on our show, it's already going to be December 1st. So
it threw me all off this weekend, like watching the football, and there was no cold turkey sandwich to have with it. I didn't know what to do.
It was really weird when it first happened, but we've got a lot of things to cover with sports and whatnot. Let's jump into it.
Let's jump right in. Best podcast anywhere.
Wow.
This gal don't lie.
No, she's never lied.
No, not to me anyway.
Never.
All right. So we're going to go through some baseball awards first. The awards were handed out.
Yes,
we're going to go through each individual gold glove each position. We're just going to hit the big four here.
Yeah, we skipped it all last week. We're going to save this week and cover all the awards.
Yep. So here we go. Your AL and NL MVPs. Judge and Ohtani. I have a little problem with Ohtani getting it. Yes, he had awesome numbers.
Oh, correct.
Huge numbers. Great player. Worth every dime. You're only a DH. Yeah. You don't field. I heard from some things talking to a guy at work. He goes, but his WAR numbers were this. Even his DH, and he is this and that. And I'm like, listen here, young buck with your made-up stats. Get away.
Yeah, no one doubts.
I just have a problem. It's kind of like a relief pitcher getting the Cy Young. Sometimes some people have that beef. Because you have the Rolex Relief Man and the Cy Young Award.
There are
DH should get MVP.
I'm going to bounce this off you to get your reaction.
All right.
I'm sure during the course of the season, there were some days or some games that Ohtani did not break a sweat. 0 for 4, never broke a sweat in the game. So we're talking about MVPs that are on the field for all of the plays of a game, back and forth, hitting, fielding.
Yeah.
That's a grind. That's a year-long grind. Ohtani's got great numbers. No one's doubting the numbers. But should he be the MVP? I think that's a good case. That's a good question.
Could he have put up those numbers if he played left field every day?
Yeah, I mean, just imagine the day.
I'm just saying. It's not jealousy. I'm just saying.
And I think it's fair. It's fair to say it.
Your Cy Young Award winners, no argument here. They both got triple crowns in their leagues. Chris Sale from National League and Sparkle with the Tigers. They both got the triple crown. So, yeah, of course they should get Cy Young. Slam dunk right there.
Yep.
Chris Sale probably gets comeback player of the year also. So that's a hell of a season right there.
Yeah.
Your rookies of the year, I don't know. Skeens, sure, maybe. He was rookie of the 75% of the season. If you want to go, well, he was rookie of the year. Look at the 75% of the season he played. Well, then let's go back to the MVP and just count the last 3 quarters of the year for Lindor and see if he gets MVP then. Rookie of the year should be the whole year, not just a handful of games. But
yeah, it does.
I like Skeens. I'm not. I love him, but he wasn't there all year.
Yeah, it's opening a can of worms. Now, Skeens had a tremendous year in everything that he did. It was unbelievable. But this is the Major League, National League Rookie of the Year for all the rookies, and he was it. So,
and they put him on a clock at the end of the season too.
I agree that he should have been in the running as a candidate. Tremendous year, but it brings up the question once again.
And he's going to be one of those guys. Again, I was talking to these young bucks at work about it. Well, he had 10 strikeouts a game average and this and that. He was pitching 6 innings. Pitch all 9 and still average 10 strikeouts a game. How many guys start out the first 5-6 innings are a ball of fire and you don't do it the last 3 innings? Well, you only got 9 strikeouts for the game. You have 9 in the first 6 and they pull you. You're a stud. Pitch those next 3 innings and see what you get.
Now, here's the offset to that. The devil's advocate is the guys, typically pitchers come up after working, several years in the minors, and then they have struggles that first year or two. Then they kind of come into their own.
Yep.
He didn't have that. The Twins brought up some guys that were studs, like Zebby Matthews and David Festa, that were studs in the minors, came up and they really struggled in the majors. The side of the case for Skeens is he went to several classes of minors, did well, got to the majors, and really didn't skip a heartbeat.
In one season. He was in the College World Series last year.
It's a tremendous season that he had. Yes. No one's doubting that. But yeah, you're not a full season guy. You're not
And again,
it's tough.
College World Series also. And again, have you seen The Girlfriend? Oh man.
I was going to remind you not to forget, but you got it. You got it covered. He's had in his dating life and his career has been phenomenal.
Manager of the year, I think I got no issues with either one of these. Manager of the year, I had no problem with these two calls. I think
the Cleveland was phenomenal, and what Milwaukee did, both phenomenal, I think.
Yep. First year coach comes in for both to do it too, so that's pretty incredible right there. So
yeah, hats off.
All right. Hall of Fame ballot time. Here's the ballot.
Okay.
You get 10 votes.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into the whole, I think it's like 80%. And like Billy Wagner's on his 10th year of eligibility and so stuff. You're going to hear it all to death, or I'm not going to bore you with it. I really only got like 4 guys I'd pick off this list that I would vote for if I was a voting member.
Okay.
It'd be Andrew Jones. It'd be Billy Wagner, Ichiro, CeCe Sabathia, and then I guess if I had to pick, I'd put Alex Rodriguez in. He had the numbers. I'm sorry. Steroids or not, how many guys have done other? I'm so past all that.
Yeah.
He did it. Too bad. You never kicked him out of the league. You let him finish his career and retire. And then you found out afterwards. You found out too late. And here's the classic or the Veterans Committee members.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how many of these guys I picked, but Dave Parker, this better be his year. Even if it's a sympathy vote because his health ain't the greatest, get him in when he's still alive. Yeah, 4 of these guys or 5 of these guys have passed already. Sorry, but Dave Parker needs to go in, the Cobra.
Oh, yes.
Now, here we go.
Okay.
We're going to rattle through the champions here and the winners. And, I saw some of these games, and it never fails. You get 2 undefeated teams, and there's blowouts all over the place. It was almost embarrassing. Here you go. Fertile Trammies, your 9-man. I don't care. 9-man football champs, 20-8 over Hills Beaver. Minnesota crushed, I think is a safe word to say here. 70-20.
I watched a bunch of this game, Andy, and it was very interesting.
It was a train wreck. I had to keep watching it.
It was wild.
I had it on at work on one of my other little screens up there watching it, and it was a train wreck. I couldn't turn away.
This is what I would call a dynasty, boys.
Yes.
Tremendous athletes.
Jackson County over Staples Motley. And here, Dasco-Cato loses to Stewartville. Again, a lot of these games weren't really close. Becker, 24-8 over. This game was fairly close for the 4A, but the others weren't just crushes. Elk River 33, Alexandria area 24. These last 2 rounds were pretty good. This was a good close game here. Alex area playing very good. Maple Grove over Tonka by 7, down to the last minute, but Tonka played like crap, but being an alum, I could say that.
Yeah, it's
anyone else after Tonka says it to get a fat lip. So there. All right, Missouri Valley football. Here we go. College football. Some conferences have started the playoffs, some haven't. Some are now bowl eligible, but whatever. Bison took one on the chin. Lost 29-28 to South Dakota. There's some of your other scores from the Missouri Valley. On Sunday, the playoff format came out.
I saw this. Yes, I was excited.
And there they go. Bison are still the 2 seed up there. And this is the upper section of the brackets. They seeded. First, so many guys get buys. You can see Montana State, North Dakota State with the buys. Lower bracket, South Dakota State and South Dakota getting buys. Should be strong. Bison and the Bunnies could rematch in the semifinals. So I kind of liked that when I saw they weren't going to be championship game again. It'll be the semis this time, so that could be kind of cool.
This is one of the best tournaments in all of football, I think.
Yep, they've had it for a while. To me, this is right up there with March Madness.
It is so good, and it's single elimination, and
then there's a championship
ahead. You can't look forward. Every game's important.
Yep. The Beavs, they were in the first round of playoffs the other day, and they won. They go on to play Western Colorado. Rah, rah. They're on the road down in Texas. They won. Now they get to go to Western Colorado. Go Beavs. And this is just their quarter of the bracket. They're not in the semifinals for the whole thing. They're in the semifinals for their section of the bracket.
Okay.
See, that goes on in the semis championship. NASCAR, I do have one NASCAR thing to bring up. They have most popular driver.
Okay.
Now, as you know, I'm a big Chase Elliott fan, going back to the day when his dad, Bill Elliott, was racing. And, of course, you've heard of the Earnhardt family. The last 34 NASCAR series, most popular drivers, you've either had the last name Elliott or Earnhardt. The last 34.
Boy, we didn't have a trivia question, Andy. This would be a great one. This is more of this is a statement.
Facts.
Right. Wow.
No pressure on Chase Elliott every year now to keep that tradition going.
Jeez.
Most popular has either been an Elliott. It was Dale Elliott from 91 to 2000. Dale Sr. 2001. Elliott again in 02. Junior from 03 to 17. And Chase Elliott from 18 till present. There they are. Whoo, doggy.
There's your Mount Rushmore, right? Essentially, of families.
Now, I want to fix the picture here for you, though. Everybody's looking at it.
Yep.
Bill Elliott's the one with the red hair in the upper corner. Kitty corner from him is his son, Chase.
Okay.
Other redheaded kid is Dale Jr., yet Dale Sr.'s got black hair and Chase has black hair. Bill Elliott's got red hair and Dale Jr. has red hair.
Goofy.
Anyway, there's your last four.
We could have a DNA test.
I'm just saying. Here we go.
My favorite part. What's it going to be now?
I fired up on this one.
Oh, yes.
How does this guy, and I got nothing against him, great guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful person, an outstanding cook. But how does he sign a letter, go pro in his sport, train with the pros, not make it, and come back to college? That'd be like I signed a minor league baseball deal, played 4 years, and said, not so much, and come back. Now, guys have done it. What's his name from Minnesota? Played minor league baseball for a while, didn't like it, came back and played football, and went on.
Chris Weinke?
Yes. That could have been a trivia question too, basically.
Because he didn't forego his eligibility.
But still,
Gabe,
you were getting paid to do professional stuff. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Even with Weinke, that kind of bothers me. He went on, came back as a 27-year-old to college. I got a problem with that. You went pro. You said, I'm too good for this. I'm moving on. Found out you sucked at it as a pro and came back, and now you're whipping everyone's ass. Because you got to train at the pro level with the pro stuff.
Steveson went as far as putting his shoes on the mat.
Yes.
When he was done.
Did he try an NFL tryout too?
And you're done. You are saying, you're telling the world there's no chance that I'm even going to think about coming back. And now he's back. So I also have a problem with this. Yes, he's a great guy. Yes, he's a great wrestler. But there's guys coming up waiting to take that heavyweight spot, and now they're second on the depth chart because now he came back. It throws too many wrinkles into the mix.
And I want to know,
yes,
what classes is he taking?
I don't like it.
I got a problem with guy. Come back and finish your degree, great, but you can't go back to the sport. Sorry. You come back to finish your degree, I'm happy for you. Whatever. You should not be
He shouldn't have any eligibility for college wrestling at all, I don't think, after he signed a paper to go pro in the very
And
sport.
if he did, his ass better not be burning up a scholarship either. He better be cutting
See,
that check for tuition.
now this is a good soapbox. This is very good because you're right. You're right on the money.
And you went pro or minor league contract, whatever. You pay the full tuition. You better not be on a scholarship.
Yeah, there's many things wrong with this. We're not on his case as a person, maybe if he made a decision, but I'm guessing other things are at play here to bring him back, and that's just it's not a good look, right?
Yeah. Here's your homework assignment.
I got my pencil ready.
You thought there'd be no homework for the holiday weekend?
Give me something to write on.
Celebrities at sporting events. I'm sick and tired of seeing pictures of people in the front row, in the back row. Look at this person from this movie at the game. I don't care anymore. Sick and tired of it. Are you sick and tired of it? Your homework is just, especially this Thanksgiving weekend. See how often you notice they show pictures of celebrities at sporting events.
So
here's so-and-so in the front row. And they get the stupidest matchups too. Here's this singer and this actor. What? Why is these two people together?
What I think is, the broadcast team that gets assigned there, there's video people, there's audio people, there's people running the cameras, all focused on the game. In order to do this, like you say, I think that there's got to be a couple people on staff that are just looking for this and saying, okay, camera 3, put it on this press box or this owner suite because they're there. I don't see a need for it. There's no need for it at all, but it's putting them in that spotlight I don't like it.
Yeah, and if you look at like for Fox for the All-Star game for baseball, we'll say for example, they just happen to find all these people that are going to be on Fox shows this year. And if you pay attention, funny, they all had the same seat. They moved that guy out, moved someone else down for a few innings.
They rotated through. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's go back a sec. You said All-Star game, World Series, All-Star game, Super Bowl. You're going to see that. I don't have a beef too much with it there, but it's the everyday Sunday NFL football games where they set aside 5 minutes and they focus on who's all there. Is that really necessary?
NBA is getting real bad at it too. Well, they've always been kind of bad. They're getting worse because of their players having Instagram accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's part of this pop culture, I guess.
Yeah. All right, here's a crazy stat for you. Last year in the World Series, 12.1 million people in Japan watched the World Series. 11.3 million watched the NBA Finals. Now, granted, there wasn't a lot of Japanese guys in the NBA to watch. Ohtani was in the World Series.
Okay. So
that makes sense, but still, those numbers, they were not in prime time in Japan. They were up like at 3 a.m. to watch the games, so hats off to them for that.
Wow.
Everybody says NBA is growing so much. That's NBA here, not in Japan. NBA here. So
big stat.
And here's some more stuff, stats I think I put on social media a couple times. How much revenue each sport gets and where it comes from.
Okay.
NFL gets 66% of theirs from the TV contracts. And only 17% from ticket sales and 10% from sponsorship. You look at baseball, a majority of theirs is ticket sales, 31%. And only 26% from TV deals. And 23% from local TV. They almost get as much from local TV as they do national. NBA, most of theirs is national TV, then ticket, then local TV. In hockey, their lowest is local TV. Ticket sales is 44% of their revenue.
Wow.
They get more money on concessions and parking than they do local TV in the NHL.
It's a good stat.
So you say, geez, well, the NFL's so popular. Well, yeah, because 2/3 of it's the TV stuff. Year round, we talk about this time year round. ESPN's talking football on their radio 20 hours a day, year round at least.
Mm-hmm.
So there, NBA, you're going to hear most of that, 41%, is going to be the other 5-10% on ESPN. So that's it. I mean, baseball and hockey are our sports. We talk about most here. We'd be that local TV and media stuff for those two there. And that's about right, too. We do 1% football for local TV and media. So that's about right for us here, that, I guess.
Exactly.
Ovi, he was chasing Gretzky's record in the next couple of years. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with an injury. So we'll see how well he comes back from said injury. He's not a spring chicken anymore. So it might be a little longer before he breaks Gretzky's record. We'll see. He's got some time off to think about it. And then this last one came up to be an anonymous NHL player poll. I love the anonymous polls. I'm gung-ho on Houston. I don't want another team in Canada. I think Houston would be a really good spot, said anonymous NHL player, because the state of Texas has no sales tax on your income. And also, Canada, the dollar is less there, so you don't really make as much. So, of course, human greed's going to say, I want to play in Texas, not Canada. It's not really rocket science there, son, what you said. If you're good enough, Canada loves hockey a lot more than Houston. Houston would love hockey if you win or you were trendy and that's it. After 3 years, you're losing, you're not trendy, they don't care. Canada, you can suck like the Maple Leafs and they'll still buy your jerseys. You'll make money off of that there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you took Economy 101 and said, I want to go to Texas where there's no income tax on my income. In Canada, the dollar's worse. Okay, Sports Economics 101, you passed, but you didn't take the second year course where you got into marketing, jersey sales, commercials. Idiot. That was almost soapbox material, but I didn't want to make an all soapbox episode again. So there we go. That's my spiel for the day. High school football is over. It's kind of the change of the seasons now. Basketball and hockey have started. We'll get more into themselves coming up next few weeks after this. Congratulations to the football teams as they move on. They've won. Those kids moving on with their letters of intent. College football playoffs have begun. Shout out to Jeremy Quas. Nebraska's bowl eligible. Gophers aren't yet. Just saying. I know they'll get it right.
Well, it'll be interesting. The Gophers played Penn State, kept it close, lost by 1 point. Very good game at home. It's fun to see that you don't need to necessarily win, but have a competitive game at home against the number 4 ranked team in the nation. People are happy with that. It works. I mean, it's.
Penn State was favored by 13.5.
So a lot of things were favorable about that game. Now, the Minnesota Vikings had a pretty good lead over the Chicago Bears on the road at Soldier Field, ended up winning in overtime after a 4th inning, kind of a collapse there after the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, once again, pretty. Now, if you look at the stats, that's a 3-game road trip and that they won all 3. Now, were the teams
total like 8 points or something like that?
Were the teams tough? Were they challenging? Well, it's still a road trip. It's still 3 consecutive games back to back to back on the road. Vikings won them all. So it's a good momentum push.
I think if you look at the standings, kind of like going back to what we said in the last thing, they don't have pretty wins, butt-kicking wins. It's win's a win. You win by 1 or you win by 40. It's a win. 1.
The Minnesota Vikings in the 32-team NFL are in the top 5 for win-loss record. You're a top 5 team, and it's a good position to be in this time of the year. And now you get a bunch of home games coming up, so it's still fun. The WNBA, Andy, the season's done. They're getting ready for the the seasons they're going on. What I'm trying to say is next year there's going to be an expansion, new teams coming in, Golden State Valkyries. And so the thing I've been following and learning and reading up on is how they do this expansion draft to get this new team. How do they populate the team with rostered players? And so they have the current existing teams have got to protect some players and then leave open some players. And from that pool of players they leave open, Golden State will come by and snatch up one player from each team of the other 12 teams. So that'll populate their roster with 12 players. So it's just one from each team they'll use, and then they get a free agent, anyone they want in the free agent wire. So they'll have 13 players right off the bat, and then they'll kind of be at status quo. So that's the next step. I think that expansion draft is the first or second week in December. Now, Major League Baseball teams are 40-man rosters are pretty much set. There's the expansion, the Rule 5, sorry, not the expansion, but the Rule 5 draft is December 11th. Now, town ball baseball, Andy, there was this big talk over the offseason of adding points and criteria and switching it all up. There was a board meeting on Saturday to approve that. I haven't seen any press release, press announcement on that. The assumption is that they are going to pass it, and it will be passed, but I haven't seen that. I'm looking for a press release to come out here in the next week announcing that. And once that's all done, then people can go ahead with being angry about it or happy or glad or waving the flag, whatever they want to do about it, because then the teams can start putting their schedules together. Some teams are already scheduling now already here at the end of November for their next year's schedule. But that'll all take effect officially, and then we'll have some further discussions in the offseason with some baseball roundtable discussions.
After the holidays, we have a few scheduled.
Once this all dust settles on this, it'll be very interesting to see how it all shakes out. But we'll keep the pulse on that. But other than that,
speaking of schedules, I saw today, I was going to put that up. I tried to ask Kevin to put the slideshow up, but you know what happens when
he's not
pay these interns early. The holidays. There was a kind of a trade in Major League Baseball today between the Twins and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Ooh, I didn't know this.
They switched games.
Oh,
4th of July games against the Rays are going to be here in Minnesota. And then games in May are getting moved on to Tampa instead.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Switched when they have their home games against each other. I suppose Tampa now playing at the Yankees Stadium field for their spring training.
Steinbrenner
If
field.
something else was going on there 4th of July weekend, maybe they had to switch because of that. Maybe something was here in Minnesota in May. I don't know. A concert, who knows?
Interesting.
Those two teams have switched. So if you've already printed your Twins schedule or got your tickets and marked off your calendar, put in that time off request at work, check that and get fixed.
Double check. Twins season single game tickets go on sale next week. I believe it's Monday they go on sale. So maybe they wanted to get those things all finalized before they went on sale, I'm sure. But they're going to be on sale, and the schedule I think should be solidified. Season tickets, whatnot, everything's going to be on sale starting next week. So that should be fun.
Mid-April, the Mets are in town.
Yes, I saw your post. You're going to go to that game. It should be fun.
I'm going to at least one of them, yeah.
And we don't know if it's a 7-line official game yet.
No, it's not. Those are out. It's not. Nope.
So still will be a pretty good fan base there on that one, but that should be fun to watch. Other than that, I can't think of any other sports coming down the pipeline here.
That's all we got,
Professional women's hockey is about to start season 2 for Professional Women's Hockey League. All the teams now have jerseys and logos and sweaters and actual names, logos. Before they played the entire first year of the season just with the city's name or whatever, just across the front. Very generic. Now they've got logos and all this fun stuff.
Should be exciting. Defending champions.
Minnesota.
Now we're the Minnesota Frost, the defending champs. So
the Frost, if you hear about the Minnesota Frost and whatnot, that's what that's talking about. They have pretty cool uniforms. All 6 are pretty interesting with the uniforms and the logos and the styles. I think it's fun now that they have that. It was almost boring to some extent last year with the very generic, but it is what it is. Now it's going to be official.
It was smart in a way in case it didn't go over. They were covered. So,
all right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.